Yeah, guys. So the other day I dropped my kids off at school and I'm busy walking my youngster to his class. And on the way to his classroom is these two giant oak trees. And my boy, as boys do, he runs ahead of me and he starts kicking all the acorns around the paving as we're heading towards class. And I just thought to myself in that circumstance, I just said, man, these little acorn seeds that he's kicking around, I mean, within them lies the potential of them becoming this enormous oak tree that's planted right here. I mean, it's already within each and every single one of those seeds that is just lying on the paving. A giant oak tree exists within it already. And I mean, if it was just planted, if it was just cultivated, if it was just put in that environment, it could be and become this massive oak tree. There's something of significance. And that's who we are. I mean, each and every single one of us, we are that little acorn seed. That within us already lies the potential, already lies the capability of us becoming this enormous, magnificent oak tree. There's something of significance. There's something of meaning. I mean, how cool is that? How cool is that something so small can become something so big? And all it does is that it moves inch by inch. It's a small growth on a daily, consistent basis that develops and makes it that giant oak. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be taking that MCA, we're going to be taking that massive, consistent action on a daily basis in moving us towards and growing us and developing us towards becoming everything that we're meant to be and become and destined to be, because it's already in you. I mean, you've got to realize that. Like a little seed, within you already lies that potential, that capability of becoming everything that you were destined to be. But you got to cultivate yourself, man. You got to grow yourself. You got to develop yourself. You got to be just that little bit better than you were the day before, every day. And just for a moment, just imagine with me that little acorn has a little brain and has all these emotions that go along with it within its life. I mean, can you imagine when it is taken, it's picked up and it's thrust into this hole? And is then just covered and consumed with soil. And it's placed in this environment where all of a sudden it's just surrounded in darkness. And it's damp and it's cold and it's a complete isolation and it's alone and it's challenged. I mean, in that very moment, in that instance, that little acorn seed's got all these emotions running through it. It's got to choose, it's got to decide, have I been planted or have I been buried? Because the circumstance and the situation of being planted and being buried, I mean, the environment is identical. But it's what it chooses. It's what it decides in that moment that'll determine what it's going to be and become. Because if it decides that it's been buried, then all it's going to do, man, is it's going to lie there in its hole, and every day it's going to decay a little more. Until eventually it's dead. But if it decides that it's been planted, I mean, if it decides that it's been put in this hole, it's in this environment, and this is where it's at, but it's going to grow, it's going to push, it's not going to give up, it's going to keep on going until it breaks through this hole, it's going to keep on growing until it breaks through the ground, it's going to keep on growing until it becomes everything that it was destined to be and become, that it's going to utilize this environment and this challenge to grow it and develop and prosper it. Man, that's when it becomes something of substance. That's when it becomes something great. You must realize that that seed within that hole, it cannot grow. It can't develop unless it's placed in that situation. Every tree that you ever look at, that seed once upon a time had to be placed in that place of darkness. It had to be placed and consumed by that darkness, that soil, that environment. That's what allowed it to grow. I mean, that's our challenges in our lives. I mean, I don't know where you are in your life currently, but if you feel that you're in place in this hole and you're in this environment when you're in isolation and it just feels like there's complete darkness and it's consuming you, man, you've got to keep on growing. You've got to keep on pushing. You've got to keep on driving yourself and becoming better each and every single day, inch by inch. You just got to be getting better. You've got to be growing and going. You've got to be taking that MCA, that massive, consistent action daily, in progressing and getting yourself out of that hole until eventually you break through that ground and you start becoming everything that you were destined to be and become. So what are you? I mean, are you that little seed that believes that it's not worth much, or do you see that significance, that ability, that capability that already lies and exists within you in becoming everything that you were meant to be? And within your environment right now, those challenges within your life, do you see them as an opportunity to be planted and to grow and to learn from them? Or do you just see it as you've been buried and you're in this hole that you just don't think you're ever going to get out of? And you're just simply decaying each and every day, just a little bit more, just existing. Because I believe it's in you. I believe it's in each and every single one of you. I believe that growth and that development, I believe that greatness of becoming something of significance, of greatness, of true achievement already lies within you. You just got to cultivate it. You just got to grow it and develop it. And I believe that if you're in an environment and a challenge and a situation right now within your life, man, it's a reason to be planted. It's a reason to be growing and to be going. And never stop moving. Never stop taking that MCA, massive consistent action on a daily basis in being and becoming everything that you are destined to be. And then just be awesome. Guys, be blessed.